So now we're going to add a little book to go in our pockets. So I've got a piece now measuring 8 by 4 inches, so it's a little bit smaller, and then I've got another piece that measures 7.5 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to make a little book out of these to go inside my pocket. So as you can see, one is slightly smaller than the other, but that's fine because then they're going to slide in, but it gives a bit more interest again. So let's get these folded. So what you're going to do is score these in half. So this is 8 inches, so I'm just going to score that at 4. And this one's 7.5, so I need to do this at 3 3/4. Okay, bring in my board. I think I'm going to have the birds with the pale colour on the outside. Just fold that, and again, and then I'm going to bring my corner punch in. That hasn't cut that very well. Let me trim that off. I've gone a little bit wrong there with my folding, so let me just trim this piece off. Take that slither off there. That's it. Right, now you can bring the corner punch in. Punch the corners just to give, there again, a bit more interest with some rounded corners. And then this one will go inside that one. I've just got to make sure my birds are up the right way. So that can go in there and that can go down there. Then you've got a bit more. That might be better around that way. Let me have a look when I open it. So you've got a bit more interest with your layering and things going on. So how I'm going to attach this again, not with tape, I'm just going to use a very thin bead of glue along the spine. Just all the way along. This is the Cal-Al glue again. If you haven't got Cal-Al glue, PVA works just as well for this. I'm just going to pop it in there, in the middle, and then just close it shut and just burnish along. And then once that's dry, it's going to be my little booklet that can then go inside here. I'll just take these off. Don't know if this is dry or not yet. Yes, that's dry. So that will just go inside there. Let's turn it round so the birds are facing the right way. Okay, so that's that done. So now we can move to the back of the project. So this will all tuck into there. So by me making it on the bigger size for you, you can see more what's going on. So we're now going to flip over and work on the back of the project. So the first thing we're going to do is to add an insert to our top pockets. So that's going to go there. So that's very easily done with some double-sided, with some wet glue. I'm just using the Cal-Al glue here. Choose what colour you want showing. I'm going for the cream. Pop that just on the top there. You're leaving a little bit of a gap all the way around again, so it's just framing my work. Just push the glue to disperse it. So the next thing we're going to do is the bottom pocket. So I've got a darker colour here for the bottom pocket. This is single-sided, doesn't need to be double-sided on this one. So, and I'm going to do a score line along the narrower side, because obviously we're making a pocket, at 1 1/4 inches. Fold this up, burnish that with my bone folder. Now this is going to slide in the seams. Now if you look at your, let's just open it up again. If you look at your bag, you've got your seams at the side here. So this is going to slide into here to make my pocket for the back. Now obviously it's not going to slide in all the way there because that's shaped, so I need to trim that off. Also, I'm not going to get all the way along the bottom there because my flap doesn't go all the way along the bottom. So let's trim this end first. So I'm just going to eyeball it. So with my scissors, let's just go about there. Bring that in. That's going to go perfectly there. But I've got a problem here because I can see it there. But what I can do is I can trim that off. So what you can do is you just lay it in all ready to go, and you can see this piece here. I can find my pencil. I'm going to just trim that off, and that will still hold as a pocket. So I'm just going to cut that piece off there. I'm just going to trim that piece off. That's why these video tutorials are so good, because just by writing instructions down you can't always see what has to be done. It's very hard to write instructions for projects. So let's close it again. So we'll go back to the back. So this is my flap. So I've got my diagonal piece here to fit in with my fold on the bag. That fits in nicely as a pocket, okay, and then if we flip it over, you now don't see the piece that's going to come in because it's underneath here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that attached. Now I'd like to do magnet closure on this little pocket. So before I actually glue this and attach our magnets, I'm going to do the top flap with you, so I know where I need to put my magnets. So let's bring in the top flap, which again I've already got cut and is double-sided, and I'm just thinking we'll go for the lighter colour. So this needs scoring again on the shorter side, and we need to score this again down 1 1/4. Okay, that's scored down. Because I'd like to add magnets just purely, if you remember with the original, it just keeps it nice and flat in your bag if you've got magnets. Because it's a lovely pocket wallet that Stephanie Miller has designed here. So I'm just following her tutorial, if you like, on what she's done. So I'm just going to fold that over. So again, we'll have to do some jiggery pokery with our folds. You find your fold line. So I need to do a diagonal again on this end this time. So it's just going to go in there. So that's going to fit in there. Let me just flip it over to see how that fits. We'll do the same like we have with the top one. Need to do a pencil line and a trim to take this piece off, because we don't want that showing, because that's where it looks untidy. So trim that there and trim that piece off. Let's just flip it over again. So tuck that behind there. So that's going to be our top pocket. And then I will make little photo mats to go inside there. Now if you're looking where this comes down to, keeps moving about because we're not glued, this is coming down to about here. So I'm just trying to see where I'm going to put my magnets. About there, which is about there. Am I going to get a mark through there? Let's see if I can get a mark through. or measure it perhaps might be better. So let me just tuck that back up in there again. This is because I'm now thinking where I'm going to attach my magnet. If I attach my magnet in the bottom here, every time you put a mat in, it's going to catch it. Okay, so I'm going to probably attach my magnet to the back of here. Okay, and that's where I want it to be. So I'm going to pop that in there. Let me get it all square. Let's measure this up. See, that's 1 1/4, and I think my bag is 1 1/4, so it's going to be right on the wire. Yeah, it's going to be right on the wire here, but we can deal with that. So I'm going to take this out. So in here you've got your gusset, and I'm going to attach my magnet there. So I need to just measure halfway along, just because it's quite nice to have it central. So this is 9 1/4. So I'm going to need to go 4 6/8. So let's go in here with this. I've just made a little mark in there, and that's where I'm going to put my first magnet. So I'm going to get my magnet attached first. So these are the magnets I've used for several of my projects. For you that have been crafting with me for a while, these are just tiny little magnets. These are perfect for this, I think. You find, actually no, let's go ahead with the bigger ones. These are bigger ones. I'll add a link again to the website. So if you go to my website to get the measurements, I'll also add the link for the magnets when I can get that off here. And then you can get the magnets as well. So I need 2 of those, and they join everywhere. They get in all sorts of places where you don't want them. So let's pop that in there. Put those away safely. Just be careful with young children around with these magnets, please, ladies. I know you are, but I'll just have to say that. So I'll get some double-sided tape. Going to get that on one of those, and I'm going to bring it in here on this inside as high up as I can, so going right by the fold line. Okay, so that's going right in where that fold line is. I'm going to take off this, yes, I'm going to take off the backing and add my glue and add my bottom flap straight away, I think, here. So let's take off this piece of double-sided tape. My long nails aren't helping in this situation. Let me put my hand in and get to this. There we go. So that's my magnet. In fact, I'm going to put another little piece of tape more over that so it doesn't move about. Just taking that off there. There's 2 pieces on there now, so that shouldn't move anywhere. Right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add glue to this side of the bag. Not this side, just this side. So let's go ahead and add some glue. This is where you just have to be a bit ingenious of where you're adding magnets when you are, because obviously you want them to work, but also you don't want to see them. So that's added there. Then I get my bottom pocket, which is the brown one. So I'm just going to now let this drop, and then I'm going to slide in my pocket. I'm just going to lay it down to make sure it's where I want it centrally. It needs to just come along a little bit. That's the beauty of having the wet glue. So that's exactly where I want it there. So I'm just going to push that now, because that's nice and wet. that my magnet is there. Let's have a feel and see. See, the other magnet finds it straight away. That's the beauty of these magnets. So we can now join up our pockets. This time I'm going to use some red double-sided tape for this rather than the wet glue. So I've got a nice new reel here. Let's just cut a little bit of that off. Pull that piece off, it's going to now stick to me. So we're going to go down here with the tape, just as close to the edge as you can. Again on this side. Get the back of that, and that can be then laid down to stick. That's going to come off. Is that going to come off? It's going to play me up under the lights. That's that one. And again on this side. And then what I will do is, because obviously I've got this little nick that we took out, I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of tape. I know the tags I put aren't going to fall through because they're going to be quite big photo mats, but just because I think like to have things nicely finished off, I'm just going to take that piece off there, and then we can lay that down, give that a quick burnish with the bone folder. That's all nicely stuck. Magnet's found itself, see? Okay, so now we're going to do the top one. Now this is double-sided, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the top one and then add a piece of embellishment along the top to help this. And I'm also thinking we'll do some punching on this as well to just finish it off. So just making sure that all comes together nice. It's going to be right on the edge there, right on the edge. So we're going to have to be very, very clever with our embellishments on this one, people. So let me have a think what I've got in my embellishment box to put on here. So I'm going to go ahead first. We're going to put the wet glue like we did before. So let's open it up, and again I'm just putting the wet glue on this side. I'm not quite sure whether you can all see that in this light. I'm working at a bit of a funny angle now. We're going to slide that in. Just going to lay it down to make sure I've got it where I want it, which it is. I'm going to slide it along there just a little bit, which I can do with my glue. That's a nice fit, that's perfect. Let's give that a nice push down there. Now again, I've got this little bit, but that's absolutely fine because that's not going to interfere with me this time. So I need to get some embellishment on there. So let me just go and find a little piece of embellishment, and then we'll attach our magnet onto there. Right, I found some embellishments so we can add our other magnets. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put some lace trim around the top of the pocket, and then I've cut a little butterfly circle with a 1-inch circle punch to put just on the inside to hide the magnet, so it keeps it quite discreet. I could have put a band of paper across there. I could have put an extra piece of paper to make it more sturdy, but this paper is quite sturdy already, so I'm just going to go along with the lace trim on this one. So I've got some double-sided tape. I'm just going to use some normal double-sided tape on this to add some trim. I'm going to keep it quite close to the edge on this because I think it will look nice. So I'm just going to break that open there, because my plan is to bring it right the way round so I haven't got a join on the front. So I'll have it about there. So let's take the back off this. This is where you can now start building up and adding some embellishments to your project. Down. This is just some lace I got from the haberdashery store. I'm just going to turn this round now to bring round so it's folding me, facing me, sorry, not folding me, facing me. And then I'm going to do the same again this side. Using magnets on your work is quite nice actually, because it does help to hold pockets down and give them more of a professional look, you know, rather than having loads of pockets that are bulging open. So it does give it a nice professional look about it. So we'll just bring this along here. That'll match up nicely, and the same on this side. Don't like to cut it until I'm quite ready. So that can go there. Just trim that off there. So we need to find out where our magnet's going to be. It's there. So I'm just going to peel this little piece off. Let me bring it into camera shop, sorry. Peel back this little piece with the double-sided, and I'm just going to hope it now attaches, which it has there. So that's found its space, if you like. It's not always as easy as that. So bring that all the way along there, and then I can add my butterfly circle over the top to finish that off. I'm going to put some glue all the way around here. I could have put a button, I could have put a length of paper, as I say, I could have double-sided it, you know, there was lots of things I could have done. So I try to sort of do different things each time. So that really now just needs to take off glue wise. The good thing about the Kal-El is it will stick to your fabrics as well as just your papers. I'm going to put a bit more on there. I could have used a hot glue gun, would have perhaps been better because that'd be more instant, but I haven't got that heated up at the moment, so I'm just going to pop that on there. Let's put that to one side and put a lid on there a minute while we just have a quick look. So now we've got the pocket already, so we've got the magnet down here. Can't really feel it now, so I need to just put a couple of photo mats in there. I think I have these measuring I think we have 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, so let's bring some cardstock. I'll just leave this to one side to dry a moment. Bring my trimmer in. Oh, this is the paper collection that I'm using here. It's called Noir de Chic, and this is by First Editions paper. I know you can get it in the UK, I'm not sure about the US, but any paper collection will be fine. Or as I say, use trimmings that you've already got at home, you know, ends of collections and things that you've already got at home. So it's a great way of using things like that up, and then that way when you're giving them away as gifts, all you've done is buy 2 bags and then you're just using your scraps of paper, which is perfect. So just cut 2 little mats there. So I'm just going to round the edges on those. Round it very well, put it in emptying. paper on there. So because those were 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, I'm going to go 4 inches by 4 inches on the pattern paper. So I've got some of the butterfly one here. I'm going to turn them around. So let's do a couple in that. Have I done that at 4? No, I've done that at 4. I need to do 4, not 4 1/4. That was a bit silly of me, wasn't it? So, and 4 again. That's 1. And I'm going to do another one. And I'll show you why, because this is double-sided. And then we just find another one to do a couple out of. While we're here, is this 4 inches? That's bang on 4 inches, which is perfect, saves me not wasting paper. Again, that's a double-sided, which is good. Right, so we can do some photo mats quickly. So punch those together. Bit of ink around the edges. But this is what I've done all the way through the project. So I did this prior. As I say, on my website you'll find the paper measurements for the 2 size bags that I've got. So if you cut all your paper out ready and just follow the video, you're ready to go. So it comes together quite quickly. So what I did was cut my paper out and edge all my white just cut edges. Personal choice, you don't have to. If you want to ink them with distress ink, depending on your paper collection, again, personal choice. So this is why these albums are made for you, that you can then add your own personal touches to them. So we'll make a couple of photo mats here. So we've got the butterfly one. So just put some Calal all over. You don't want to put photo mats in the back pocket if you've had an event and you've filled your album with photographs and you wanted to use the back pocket to add some tickets, say you've been somewhere, or a menu if you've been out. You know, there again, it's a great way of doing that. I'm just working around which one of the butterflies are going. It's all right. So I'm just going to pop that one on there. So as you can see, I've got a contrast with the butterflies, and I'm going to do the same again with this one. This one doesn't matter so much because it's generic, so it doesn't matter which way around it goes, which is even better. And I've just got a blob of glue there on the outside I'm going to rub off. Done. And then turn over and do some make sure I get me creams and my blacks around the right way. So stick that one on there, press that down, that's it. So they can now come in the pocket. So as I say, if you've been to somewhere and you've got tickets or a menu from a restaurant, you can pop those in there. You don't have to have photo mats, but I've just added a couple of photo mats there. That's now dry, so that can be added. We turn over, that's the front, all ready to go. So that's the basics of the mini album that Stephanie Miller did. So it's called the Mother's Day Paper Bag Pocket Wallet Mini Album. I'm calling it a paper bag wallet album because I think it's just quicker, but that's my personal choice. You've got the flap that opens up. I've made it here in the bigger version to show you. So you've got your paper elements here, lots of space for photographs, little album in there. I'll probably make another little album to go in there as well because there's room. This is the little album that little booklet we made to go in there. That's now dry, so that's all ready. that can be popped in there. And then the back pocket with the magnet with a couple of little photo mats in there as well. Okay, so that's my version of it. So I'd like to thank Stephanie Miller for the ideas, because it's obviously her mini album, her design, so all kudos to her, and I'll leave the link to her Ustream video if you'd like to watch her version, which is great. And I'd also like to thank Maria for posting me the paper bags so I could have a go at making a paper bag mini album, because as I say, here in the UK we can't get these, so I've really enjoyed making this album. And I'm working on something else as well, which is, if I can find it quickly to show you, it's my work in progress. It's all in here in my box, and I've used 4 of the paper bags, black ones again, and I'm making a paper bag mini album. So this will be going on as an online tutorial. So as you can see, it's quite fat at the moment, and it's still work in progress because I'm still playing with it and adding pockets and embellishments and bits to it. Nothing is glued down, it's all just dry tacked at the moment. So that's my work in progress at the moment. So that will be coming as soon as I'm ready. Made my hinge already as well, so that's coming. So thank you very much, Maria, for my paper bags, for my paper bag mini album. So this is my version of Stephanie Miller's paper bag wallet project. Thank you for watching. I'm Dawn from Dawn's Inspirations. Bye bye for now.